from those nights at the London Stadium to beating Leeds away from home in the last minute, and all of the other memories we have got from this season, we're here to discuss them tonight and do a little season review of what has been very, very good. I don't think you can deny that at all. I'm joined by a very good panel of guests to discuss last season. Firstly, Budgie, how are you?
Good evening, Jake. Yeah, very well, thanks, mate. Good evening, gents.
Oh, good.
How
Hope
about
you are. Hope you are.
Right,
Well, Mike, you all right?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Fine. Yeah. Evening, everyone.
Hi, Mike.
Good.
You all right, buddy?
Good. And Gary is joining us as well. Gary, you all right?
I'm good, Jake. You?
Yeah, not bad. Before we start talking about our moments and memories and all that stuff, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to play you a little clip just to round up, for me, my favourite moments this season and to bring back all of those memories from what's been a momentous year. Just take a look at this. Don't know where to start, to be honest with you. Let's start at the start, shall we? We won't go through every individual game because there's been a few dire ones as well. But what a way to start the season, back all the way in August 2021 with a pretty good thumping of Newcastle away from home. We didn't start well, but what a way to start the season, Budgie.
Brilliant. I mean, I wasn't expecting quite such a dominant display from the lads on the day, if I'm honest with you. I thought it would take a little time to, mould ourselves back into last season's style of play, and it just happened instantly. It was such a refreshing thing.
Yeah, we got over the minor scare at the start by going 1 goal down after 4 minutes, and we all up in the clouds at St James's Park went, oh, here we go again. But from that moment on, it's just been a complete blast, Mike.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I know we had a superb start, didn't we? Really, I mean, great win up there. We don't go out there and win very often. Yeah, we couldn't have wished for a better start, really. Let's face it, I predicted that we'd get about 51 points, I think, in our, like, we have a little family questionnaire thing, and whoever gets the most right, wins a little prize. And I'm sure I put down 51 of 52 points.
You weren't far off.
I wasn't that far out in the end. But yeah, we had a great start. Just a shame we couldn't keep it going.
Yeah. I think there's an element of that as well. Gary, what were your expectations come the first day of the season?
Well, I remember, Jake, we went to Celtic, I think, and won 6-0.
Yeah.
When we went there, won 6-0. I thought, and they were starting they'd actually started their season because they were in the European Cup or something. And I thought to myself, blimey, we must be looking pretty good. I didn't go to the Newcastle game. You did, I know, but I didn't go. But I went to the Leicester game in midweek afterwards, and we beat them 4-1. The atmosphere was fantastic. And I honestly thought to myself, wow, this is going to be some season. We scored like 14 goals in 3 games. Confidence was flowing everywhere. Newcastle and Leicester, 2 pretty good teams, and Celtic would hammered them all. So I even put something on Facebook saying we're going to win the league. So maybe I was a bit
Well, exactly. I think I can remember that moment, and I think it was it you that was on there, Mike? And we were after the Leicester game, and we were top of the league and something like that, and it was just complete hysteria, and it was
it was a little bit.
It was a madness.
We just got carried away a little bit, didn't we?
Oh,
but why not?
Why not? Exactly. Let's see. We've got in the chat. Getting your best moments and memories from this season. That's going Villa/Newcastle away. There was definitely some good away days. Oh, I thought I was watching Crime Watch apart from Young Jay. It's not very nice.
Thanks, Pete. Thank you.
Very nice.
Thanks, Pete, yeah.
Joan, hope you are well. Peter says Liverpool/Chelsea/Sevilla at home for me is his favourite moments. The fixtures were tough at the beginning and we did unexpectedly well. Great start. Yeah, especially with Europe this year and not really strengthening massively until the final day of the transfer window back in August. I can't really remember what I expected from the season, but definitely didn't expect us to get to the semi-final of the Europa League. That is for sure. Mike, what do points make?
Points make prizes. Yeah,
exactly.
To be totally honest, though, going back to me predicting 51 points, I think I predicted that because I thought involved in Europe. I think I said if we got to the quarterfinals in Europe, we're going to struggle in the league with our small squad. And did anyone really think that Antonio was going to last the whole season?
No.
Seriously.
Never.
I mean, no one did they? We all thought the squad's not big enough. We haven't got no strikers. Antonio's hamstring's going to go ping at any time. So, yeah. In the end,
the thing is with Antonio, I think his work rate has gone up a little more this season.
Yeah.
And, therefore, you expect the injury to come a lot sooner or a lot easier.
Yeah.
And they just didn't come.
No.
One or two slight knocks, and it weren't even like it was his hamstring that gave him the issue. It was a knock to the ankle, wasn't it? And one on the knee, wasn't it?
Just two impacts.
Yeah.
As well.
In an interview, he credits that down to the change of diet, the change of training regime, and all of that. And he said that, as a result of it, he feels like he can go on forever.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of something that's fell under the radar towards the back end of the season, Gary, because we just got so used to him not being injured. We got to November and thought, well, this is weird. He's usually out injured for a month by now, and then we got to February, and then we've just kind of become accustomed to it and kind of forgot about when Antonio used to get injured every month.
Yeah, I mean, he's been incredible. I don't know his statistics this season, but he's played every game. He's flown around the world to play for Jamaica as well. He's been amazing, and he gets a lot of undeserved flack. I think he's up front on his own. He's an easy target. He doesn't score. They say, "Oh, Antonio this, Antonio that," and sure, he's not the most cultured finisher. We all know that, but he puts 100% in, and he's been unlucky a few times this season. And I really like the guy. He always gives 100% for the shirt, and that's all you can ask for West Ham. It's not his fault that the club haven't bought a backup for him.
Yeah,
simple as that. So I think good luck.
Exactly, and I think that's a very good point as well, because he is up there on his own, and when we do go to away games, he does get a lot of stick, and sometimes you can see why, because you just want him to run and he's not running at times, but the work rate everywhere else I think has just been superb this season. I think he's been very good. We know he's not going to be the accustomed finisher that we've seen from Bowen sometimes this season. Honestly, if you could merge those two players together into one superb player with the finishing from Bowen and the kind of physicality and everything else Antonio brings to the table, if you put those two players together, like what a force you'd have there. And
Jake, if you got those two players together, they wouldn't be at West Ham. So that's the trouble.
Exactly.
No, that's true. And they'd probably be called something like Didier Drogba or something.
Yeah.
It's a shout. Let's take some more of your comments then. Keep them coming in. We will read them all out. James, hope you are well. Good evening, Jake, and your rock steady crew. So you've been a rock crew and a crew of Crime Watch so far tonight. What else is my panel tonight? Let us know. Let us know in the chat. Frem, I hope you are well. Keep it kind. Never get carried away supporting West Ham as it always ends in tears. Did it end in tears this year? Oh.
No, I don't think so, really. To
Not
be totally
quite,
honest, you know, I
Mm.
mean, we had the opportunity, didn't we, with the last game with Man United slipping up. But to be totally honest, if someone had said 7th with about, I think, 5 games to go, we had Leicester who could have caught us. We've had Wolves that should have caught us. And we've been lucky, really, that those two just dropped off and didn't get any run of form at all.
Yeah.
So, you know, in a way, you know, our form has dropped off, which was always going to happen with a small squad and the great cut runs that we've had. But hey, I was taking 7th, you know, with about 5-6 games to go. Most definitely.
I agree. I think the players deserve fantastic credit for such a
Yeah.
small squad. I mean, because apart from Kurt Zuma, we've had the same team for 2 years.
Yeah.
And they're absolutely knackered. And you could see on the last day of the season, they're running on empty.
Yeah.
So you can't knock them at all. So I think, as Mike said, you know, 7th, you take that all day long.
Yeah.
And semi-finals of the European Cup.
And to be fair, for the first time I've been supporting West Ham since the mid-60s. And for the first time, I can remember a majority of the fan base that I've spoken to and I've heard talking and so on and so forth and commenting on, social media, they would have been disappointed with 8th.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would have been disappointed with 8th.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
How would we have been disappointed with 8th?
You know, we all had we've all had our little moans this season after specific games, but you know, at the end of the day, what Budgie just said there, you've got to step back and realise 2.5 years ago, if you would have said in 2.5 years' time, you'd be disappointed if you were finishing 8th, and you could say that for so many different stipulations and things that we've achieved over the last 2 years, which is just absolutely incredible, and it's a credit to the team that and the backroom staff that you look at it now as we've kept up pretty much nearly 2 points a game against our bogey team away from doing exactly what we did last year, on top of a Europa League semi-final, on top of not signing anybody.
Yeah.
Writes itself, doesn't it? You know, let's take some more.
And of course, all the other attrition the team have faced, with injuries, the Kurt Zuma cat affair, and that's still ongoing, you've got to give them credit for the professionalism that they've shown as well, as skills and ability that they've got. They've come out, with their heads held high out of the whole season, in my opinion. I think they've been an amazing bunch of lads, literally right down from, junior level right up. The whole club have done really, really well in their respective competitions this year. So fair play to them all.
Yeah. A lot of people, Gary, are mentioning Seville at home for me. I'm pretty sure you were there. Just that one game to mention that, and almost if you could say the London Stadium Europa League games on a whole, but specifically that one. How special was that?
Seville game was. I thought Leicester was a highlight, and then I thought Chelsea was a highlight, and then I went to Seville. Oh my goodness me! I mean, the fans, especially in the first half, were unbelievable. And when we got 1-0 up, and I've never heard a noise like it. I was sat next to my daughter, who's literally a foot away from me, and she couldn't hear a word I was saying. It was so loud in there; it was just ridiculous. When Suchet scored, and then it was really nice for Yarmolenko to get the winner. I got a good friend of mine who's a Sevilla fan, and I was texting him during the game. And he was just in Spain, and the Spanish commentator said they couldn't handle the noise and they couldn't handle Antonio that night. I thought it was fantastic. And I thought the whole stadium was just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It made me realise that the London Stadium can be intimidating if we all get behind the fans, behind the team. Sorry, it's brilliant.
100%. Mike.
Yeah. There's been some great atmospheres here this year. Phenomenal. And to cap it all off, the last game, Nobes' last game, I thought you look around in the crowd and you couldn't see many plastic fans because they were all proper West Ham fans that had come there.
There were a bloody dry eye in the house, mate.
Yeah, to give him a proper send-off. Okay, there's a few died of rain. You get that in every ground. Your Man United's, Arsenal's, your Tottenham's everywhere. But that was the great thing about it is the respect that Man City showed as well. I've got to say that. on the day. It was good. But to give the bloke a proper send off like that, everyone stayed behind. You know, it was cheering and singing, and there's some great atmospheres. But that moment was special. Well, those moments were special in that last game, I think. And what a great game as well. What a great
100%.
game.
What a roller coaster. What a roller coaster of a game.
I mean, one of the biggest cheers I've heard all season is when Fabianski saved the penalty.
Yeah, agreed.
Honestly, it was a great moment. It was a fantastic moment. Yeah. You know, I've got many great. The atmospheres, say for the European games were great, but the Chelsea and Liverpool games were superb, absolutely superb. So, and that, like Gareth just said, it's it's not the place, it's the fans. You know, and it's taken a long time, but it's beginning to happen now, and it's great to see. It's beginning to happen. So, long may it continue.
We will talk about the stadium and the impact that's had a little bit later on, but it's interesting because of how good some of the crowds, and don't get me wrong, there's been some dire atmospheres in there this season. Let's not get it wrong. The ones that come to mind: Burnley at home, Newcastle at home. You could hear a pin drop in there, but there's also been some electrifying moments in that stadium. It's been absolutely superb. Let's take some comments. Gary said so many great memories. I don't remember having the hump after a home game all season, win or loss. There's a couple, Gary, not gonna lie, losing to Brentford in the last minute. I had the ump then, but yeah, I see your point. It's just been superb, and to think that here's another record broken by the team this year. And Budgie, I'll come to you. I think we've scored a goal in every single one of our home games this season. Yeah. When was the last time we did that? Another record that this team has broke this season.
Yeah.
31.
I couldn't even name a season that we've done that at every home game.
80-81.
Oh, is it?
Was it?
80-81 was it? That tells you that.
Wow. So 40 odd years.
The championship.
See, and I was alive and watching the game then, and I didn't even remember that. Fair play to you, Mike. Well done, mate.
That was Gary.
Oh, sorry, Gary. My apologies. My apologies.
I can't say.
Maybe I should put my glasses on.
Mike's the handsome of the two of us.
I remember that season quite well, 80-81, actually.
I do as well,
Yeah.
Just to pick up on Antonio, Peter says goals dried up when Antonio went off to Jamaica. When you see the stipulations of he went halfway around the world, pretty much all the way around the world to play for Jamaica. Yes, his goals dried up after that. If you would have said he would have done that, if you would have said Bonner got injured for a good proportion of this season, over 3/4 of it he was on the sidelines.
That's a good point.
Despite the brilliance of Dawson, as Jones says here, Dawson has been near flawless this season. But to think that we've been without Ogbonna as well, it's just madness. Frema says Liverpool game for me. We played a Liverpool side, made their best in history, beat them fair and square. And when they look back, they were 1 point off that title. And they may look at the Wolves game where they drew. But one game that a lot of the Liverpool fans will look back on is when they lost to West Ham. They lost 2 games this year, Liverpool. One of them was against us. That's another thing for us to be proud of.
And what I really enjoyed about that game, Jake, was for 20 minutes, Van Dijk and his back four were absolutely obliterated. They did not know what hit them, and they could not handle it. Van Dijk was screaming at the rest of his defenders. They just didn't know what hit them. Bowen and Antonio ripped them to shreds for it. It was a good 20 minutes, and they were just kicking it anywhere. And you don't see Liverpool doing that. I mean, it's only 20 minutes of the game, but
they lost their composure completely.
Yeah, and what's really done me was Klopp never give us any credit at all for that. And that's sickening to me, because he couldn't admit that his team was ripped apart by little West Ham, and that's why I got no respect for him. I'm sorry. But
his ego couldn't take it, If that would have happened to Man City's Pep Guardiola, Pep would have came out and said, "You know what, fair play, they beat us fair and square." You'd never see that from Klopp.
Because he's class. Guardiola's class. You have to see what he did to Noble after the game. He went over and he was bowing to him like this, and then he hugged him. And you can't see Klopp doing that.
Oh,
So in the League Cup game when we knocked Man
What,
City out,
trap him around the back of the head and walk off and go and greet one of his own players.
Yeah.
Pep congratulated us when we knocked him out of the League Cup. So
You're right,
Yeah.
Gary. Yeah.
he's class. And I thought we were unlucky at Anfield, Jake, to be honest. I thought we could have got
We
something.
were. Oh,
We had chances, didn't we?
don't remind me of that. We just got about 4 that day.
Yeah.
One of the great memories of this season for me is that, aside from the fact that we reached the semi-finals in the Europa and so on and so forth, I think one of the great lasting memories for me is that, we managed to, take the hands off of trophies from teams that were near enough guaranteed to win it. They were nailed on favourites, like with Sevilla with the Europa and Man City with the League Cup or whatever you call it these days.
Yeah.
And Kidderminster Harrows of the FA Cup.
Oh, that game as well. So many memories. Kidderminster away. Oh dear. probably the less said about that, the better. The less said about that, the better. But
I remember it was 10-0, wasn't it? Was it 10-1? I think.
Yeah, 10-1, 10-0. Right then, let's have some descriptions of our panel then. Dad's Army's crew, more Beatles than Take That. Oh dear. What are we like? People are disappointed we didn't bring in players to push on in January. That's probably one of our only regrets this year is there's no denying it, not bringing in players in January, because if we bring in the right players in January, I think
also the summer as well. I thought we were disappointed. We brought in Crowell and Ario to sit on the bench, and we brought in Zuman, and that was it. And Vlasic, who has been best questionable.
Yeah, agree with that.
Zuma's got to be the only decent signing we've made in the last 2-3 windows for me.
Don't forget Craig Dawson.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
2 years ago.
If you go back to a few windows ago when Souček and Soufal came in and Bowen came in. I mean, we did great business then. It's hard to keep doing that sort of business. I think when you're not shopping, we're not shopping at Harrods, are we? Most of the time,
No. We're lucky if we're getting into blinking CNAs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We'll buy one, get one free at Lidl.
I was going to say Woolworths, but then a lot of people won't even know what Woolworths was.
Pick a mix, Mike.
Pick a mix. I think that sums us up. But let's have a look. See, I'm not even going to read out this comment, but it's not funny, and nobody should find that funny.
I find it funny.
Okay. Sharky, hope you are well, my friend. Let's scroll down. Right, here we go. Quiz question to the 4 of the panel. We're all at 1 game only this season. Can you name it? Question. The 4 on the panel. We are all at 1 game only this season. Can you name it? Hopefully Gary was there.
Ooh.
Was it an away game? I guess it was.
Palace home.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh yeah, we were there.
I was there as well.
Yeah, there we go. Well done, Budgie.
There you go.
You've cracked it, I think, because we were at Palace home. Yeah, you've cracked it.
That was the first time I met your dad and yourself.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Because then It was my
first game, wasn't it?
After the Europa League game then?
No, the second home of the season after Southampton was our 4th game.
That's it.
In late August, early September it was.
2-2. 2-2 it was, Gallagher ripped us to pieces. Max says, I heard we have a 200 million budget. No, max £200. Who knows, Max, because I ain't got a clue.
There is a problem with that, though, because I've been told that if you hit the £200 million threshold, they can ban you from European competition on the fair play ruling.
Well, they've changed the fair play ruling up to a percentage of turnover now. So this year, that's the limit you get now. So I don't know what turnover is. It's probably gone up quite a lot because of the European
I don't. To be fair, I don't understand that rule because I see Man City spending 100 million on a player, and then Everton are getting done for it. Well, I don't know. I don't understand that. But anyway, Fremmer says Klopp always blaming everyone and everything else but his own side. Indeed. Only one game. Is that due to the busy recording schedule? Yeah, we're busy here all the time. We're going. We're on the go, James. We're on the go. Peter says we have many chances and treated them like community chests. Let's have a look here. Oscar says yes, this team has been so good, yet the transfer window isn't even open, and we're trying to offload off them. Yeah, that's interesting. We might talk about that towards the end. Mike's shaking his head, but
we can't afford to get rid of any of those players other than the ones that we know are definitely going out. You likes of Noble, Frederick Yarmolenko. I mean, they're talking about others going. They got to stay. We got to strengthen this squad, not weaken it.
Yeah,
you know, we got to bring guys in first. You know,
Mike, I'm getting the vibe that your twin has annoyed you.
Definitely.
Oh dear. Yeah. I agree to an extent, but if we do, but to be fair, what I talked about on my video earlier, just to touch on it quickly, is if we're going to do something like this and sell players like Souček or Benrahma, which we don't know, we're going to listen to offers. No offers might come in, and we might not sell them because we're only listening to offers. We can listen to what we like, but if we do sell those two players, even if you look at Souček, if we bring in James Ward-Prowse, it's an upgrade, but then we need to still buy another two players to add on top, which means we are weakening. It's a kind of catch-22 situation because you're going to get a better player there, but it's then making David Moyes' job harder because he's then going to have to sign even more players.
But I'm not too sure that James Ward-Prowse is a better player than Souček.
Different player, different type. Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, he's great with the dead ball. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You know, for that and that alone, he's worthy of a mention.
Yeah.
But in open play, I don't rate him so much.
But what I'd like to see, though, what I'd like to see, and Gary, I'll come to you, is if we're really going to show intent, let's keep Souček and let's buy either James Ward-Prowse or Gallagher to make a three in midfield, because I think Lanzini, we all know Hammerett loves him, but towards the back end of this season, I do think he's burnt out slightly. He's not the future, you know. And to have those in a three with Ward-Prowse at the top of that kind of triangle with Souček and Rice alternating to sit and go forward, I think that's a force if we want to show intent in midfield. Ward-Prowse, Souček and Rice.
No, I agree with you, Jake. What you said earlier hit the nail on the head. We're listening to offers. I mean, every single player in that squad, including Declan Rice, has got a price. Okay, and we're a business, and the only people loyal to the club are the fans. You know, players will come and go. And if Man United, in their wisdom, offered £250 million for Declan Rice, then we're going to sell it. You know, simple as that. And if someone offers £100 million for Thomas Souček, we're going to sell him. Now, I agree with Mike. We shouldn't sell him, but there comes a point when you have to sell him for economic sense. Yeah. We do need to strengthen our team in lots of areas. I mean, Lanzini is a classic example. We need somebody to unlock the door. In 2016, it probably was Lanzini, but it's not anymore. Benrahma's tried and failed, but we need that little bit delicate, number 10 to get through. Yeah. So I think, that Twitter's overreacted as always to this.
Oh yeah,
that Souček and Benrahma are open for offers, because I think it's just everybody is. Every single player in that squad has got a price. It's how we invest that money and what we do with it going forward. Yeah.
I agree with that, Gary. I do. But the thing with Souček is, if we get rid of, if we sell him, I mean, Moyes' game, a lot of it is built around getting that ball up there in the air. I mean, against Man City, he won so many flick-ons. You know, people have been slating him recently, but when he's not in the team, we miss him. Because of the way we play, the way we set up and the way we play.
But look at Arsenal.
We're going to change the way we play altogether. I mean, we need Souček.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, man. Look at Arsenal. He didn't play against Arsenal. We lost 2-1. And Dawson was out as well. The other thing about this team of players is they're a very tight-knit squad. And I think this has helped us get over the line. So if he disrupts it too much, he gets 6 out and 6 in, it could have a bigger impact. He needs to be very careful about that.
That's enough on transfers, though, because you're making my mind boggle. And this is a season review where we're going to flip and talk about how good we've been this year. That's all right.
Sorry, mate.
We all do. We all do. Let's take some more of your comments then. Keep them coming in. We'll read them out. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Sharky says, Leon away is my favourite win from this season. Big Ballon Dawson, so good. We think he played for us always. Exactly like when he was pulled out for one game this season, like towards the back end, we were like, oh, we'll read down that lineup and where is he? I don't like it. I'm having, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Matt says, beating Rapid Vienna at home for my birthday was a wicked game. Wouldn't say that's my highlight, but another magical night. Yeah, there we go. You know, these European nights, they were just out of this world.
Yeah.
Matt says, beating Liverpool and Chelsea are my best games this season. My uncle's a Scouser who attended it with me, and Chelsea is my son's derby. Glad the boys did it for the boy. Exactly. See, there we go. There's that bit of There's that bit in the family. Here he is coming to put sand on our lovely fire. But talking about the season, Sean, hope you're well, mate. Hope you're well. Would you want to sell Souček if we brought in someone like Ward-Prowse? That's the thing. It's a catch-22 situation. I'd like to keep Souček and bring in Ward-Prowse to show the intent. But anyway, that's enough about transfers. It's not even June yet, and then we're already having these big blimmin'. Anyway, let's scroll on down. 5 subs. Don't forget, every club's going to have a mini panic about that. It's only going to make the bigger clubs stronger. Add 4 competitions. Clubs need a stronger squad than ever. I agree. Ward-Prowse or Bazuma, I'd like to see in. James Ward-Prowse for Souček. That'll be a serious downgrade in midfield muscle. Can't believe people are talking about selling Souček and Soufal this window. One bad season don't make a bad player at all. And many other players have been just as bad. Can't sell them all.
Agreed.
Trini says Lanzini cannot cover the field anymore. Ward-Prowse or Gallagher added to Souček and Rice would be formidable. I completely agree. Souček / Benrahma not going to get moved to bigger / better clubs. This is their ceiling, in my opinion. We're talking about the 5 sub rule. But what we're going to do now, should we do our cheeky Hammer of the Year awards and all that jazz?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think it's time. Budgie, we'll start with you then. We'll leave Hammer of the Year to the end. Goal of the season, and I think this is going to be just one goal I'm thinking of. Budgie, goal of the season?
I think it's got to be the Lanzini goal against Man City.
Yeah, I agree. Right, here's what we've got to do, just to make things a bit more jazzy, is you can't pick the same answer as what the last person picked. Who wants to go next?
Go on then.
Crack on, boys.
I'll have the absolutely most definitely shot from us.
I tell you what, Gary, you've drawn the short straw here.
Well, can I have 2 moments? Both by
Go
Jared
on.
Bowen. Both by Jared Bowen. When I was at home when he scored that 3rd one away to Leon, I actually couldn't believe my eyes. I thought we are 3-0 up away from Leon, so that was a fantastic goal. And also in the stadium when he hit the bar with that overhead kick. If that had gone in, oh my god!
Oh god!
I know. Yeah.
The roof.
My goal of the season, just because those 2 have been mentioned, is Jared Bowen's goal against Chelsea. As a matter of fact, where he drilled it into that corner.
Yeah.
That was superb.
Can I give an honourable mention as well?
Go on.
The assist and the goal for Vlasic against Villa.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Benrahma assist
Yeah.
and the Vlasic goal.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Honourable mention.
Yeah.
Indeed. Next up then, save of the season. See, Gary, this is where you've got it now. Go on, Gary. Give us a save of the season. There's only one.
Sevilla at home. I mean,
Yeah.
what a save it was against Ariola against, I can't remember the guy's name now, but they're number 9. What a save it was. It really was. And at the time, it was 0-0. If that had gone in, we were out. But
End of the game,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go next and say something a bit different because, quite frankly, I can't think of a save. I'm going to go a save against us, and it's going to be Nick Pope at home against Burnley. That save, and that was right in front of me. That was behind him, and to save that was superb. I've mixed things up a bit there. If you can think of another save, Michael Budgie, say it now. But if not, we'll move on.
Come on, Mike. I'll let you go.
Right in front of me, obviously down our end, Fabianski when he nipped it against the post and then caught the rebound.
Yes.
Great
Really,
save.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great save. I mean, the penalty save was good as well, obviously. But
got me.
sorry, mate.
That's all right.
But I'm going with the one that he nicked it against the post and then still got it on the way back.
Mm.
Because
you're talking about the penalty save against Chelsea, obviously, Mike, aren't you?
Yeah.
What, the back
I
pass?
couldn't say that, Gary. You know that.
Definitely. Right, Mike, you're up next. You're up first for the best team performance.
Cool. There's a lot, but I think Leon away, really.
Yeah.
What a performance that was. I mean, that
standout one, isn't it?
I mean, we scored 3 good goals. I mean, everyone put their shift in. Absolutely everyone that night. And to get that result, it was this world. None of us expected that. Did we? Let's face it. We didn't expect to go out there and win 3-0. I think we might, I thought we was going to win and I was confident for a win. But for me, that was a phenomenal team performance.
Yeah. I think it's Gary next. We'll go to you.
I agree with Mike, but if I had to say another one, I'll say Sevilla at home. I thought that was a great performance as well to beat them, knock them out. Very experienced European campaigners. It's called the Sevilla Cup for a reason, and we beat them 2-0, and that was a fantastic night. So I'd go for that one myself. But I agree with Mike. Leon was better.
Yeah, Budgie. I mean, I think you've drawn the best straw of them all because there's plenty to choose from.
Yeah. I really thought the Leicester away game was a good game. I really enjoyed the Leicester away game.
Leicester home or away?
Oh, hang on. No, Leicester home.
Leicester home. That's it.
Leicester home. Yeah. I was thinking Leicester were in their away kit, and that's why.
Yeah.
No, the Leicester home game. Yes, that was a great. I mean, there was a couple of really good team goals in that game as well.
Yeah.
Between what was it, Fornells and Antonio and Lanzini, when it was that little triangle of players.
Yeah.
Incredible football.
Yeah. We're not going to do best individual performance, but we're going to go straight on to the hammer of the year. Gary, you haven't been first, have you?
I went first last time, but I should go first this time as well.
Oh, did you? Oh, no. Whoa. Who wants to go first? First come, first serve. Say a player.
Player for me, Bowen.
Well, Mike got in there quick. Who's next?
Go on, Gary.
Declan, obviously, for me, I think his level of consistency is quite remarkable. It really is, and he gets better and better every season. He's going to be frightening when he reaches potential. He really is.
And to be fair, there's only one player left.
Well, there's 2. Ooh. I mean, I could go with Craig Dawson, which would be the obvious choice.
Yeah.
Because he's been superb. But I'm actually going to call Ben Johnson out because I think he had a real decent start and middle part of the season. Kind of tailed off a little bit towards the end, but he's still showing a lot of promise. He's still getting his call up to the first team. He's obviously doing something right. And for me, I think it's the youth is where the club is going to grow from, So, yeah, I mean, players like that, we need them. And Ben Johnson.
That's a shout. My hammer of the year for his never-ending support to the team this year goes to Sir Alex Crowe. Is my hammer of the year this year for his superb efforts.
He didn't put a foot wrong.
Well. I think Kidderminster away says different things.
Mistakes he made.
Kidderminster away says different, Mike.
Oh,
Jesus Christ!
I was at Watford when he played his 1 minute Premier League football. So
was I. We were there, Gary. We were there. But yeah, in all seriousness, it's got to be either Bowen, Rice, or Dawson. Let's see who you're going for then. Bowen, Dawson, Rice, Bowen for hammer of the year. And the final one, it's not individual performance. It's going to surprise you. It's a different one. It wasn't on the Hammer of the Year awards that you went and paid 320 quid to sit at. Best YouTube channel this season. Who wants to go first?
No, I can't think.
I'm out here.
I can't think of any YouTube channels. Anyone think of any?
What was it that
that Gary Neville one's good.
That Turf Moor one, was it or not? No.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, only one, mate.
It's got to be West Ham unofficial, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah.
And this is the one occasion on the West Ham Unofficial Awards I will let you all pick the same answer.
No, you've done a good job, Jake.
Him,
Thanks very much.
You've been fun.
Thanks, guys. A bit of fun that, but yeah, from all of us here at West Ham, from all of the regulars that come on, and everybody who's ever come on this season, it's been a blast. And we did. You managed to mention Dan there from Turf Moorhouse TV.
Yeah.
Big up, Dan. Big
Yeah,
up,
I
Dan.
really felt for him because he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And you know, I was really hoping there was a couple of other teams that were going to go down, i.e.
So
Leeds.
was I.
Yeah, but there you
So
go.
was I. Yeah, but one thing we haven't mentioned that's we've had a season of incredible moments, but we've also had some very sad moments as well. We've lost Isla this year, which of course has been just absolutely awful in every way, you know, and now I think it's 4 months today since she passed. So we are thinking of her every day, always here. She's up there in the corner of the screen, but we just had to mention that as well. Anything you guys would like to say to that?
Yeah, really sad, mate. That was and we obviously, but respects were paid in the right way, I think, at the game. And yeah, still feel for them and for the family, really. It was tough. It was really tough.
Yeah, I agree. I think as a father myself, I can't think of any pain worse than kids. So I think that I think the family have acted with great dignity, and I think the club have as well. And let's hope the memory going.
Yeah.
And
my lasting thought on that is that, as you just mentioned there, Gary, the family's dignity. That's how you deal with the loss of a family member. That is a true testament to how you deal with it.
Yeah.
And they've been brilliant, absolutely brilliant, the whole family.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there we go. Always and forever, we send our love and condolences their way. But moving on. Let's go on to our favourite moment this season. Then we've mentioned some of them, but to round off, it can be weird, it can be wonderful, it can be a favourite for whatever reason. It doesn't have to be Seville at home. Let's mix things up a bit. Mike.
My favourite. I mentioned my favourite moment was Van Dijk screaming at the three Liverpool defenders because they disappeared, and I just enjoyed that so much. Like I said, it lasted for about 20 minutes in that game, but to see them struggling like that was just great in my mind. I really enjoyed that. I mean, when the winner went in, the place just erupted. But going back to that moment when he was just stood there like this with his arms out, what's going on? They were just putting it anywhere, and the crowd were cheering, and and just to see them in disarray, which doesn't happen very often, but they were.
Yeah, I'll go next, and I'm going to pick two kind of off the pitch moments. The first one came at Everton away when obviously the away end is right near the tunnel, and that was the birth of the Bowens on Fire song. And you saw him walk over as he clapped the fans. He had to go past, and he could hear it all game. Kevin Nolan went up to him and hugged him, and he said something into his ear, and he walked round and he clapped Bowens on Fire. And he's holding hands with Danny Dyer. And also Chelsea away as well. It's got to have a mention. He left because you're rubbish. Declan Rice. He left because you're rubbish. As he warms up down by the away end, a smile comes from Declan Rice's face. One of the best moments this year as well. For a different reason, Gary?
Yeah, my two are fan related as well, Jake. Watford away, the abuse we gave Harry the Hornet. That was
that was brilliant. Yeah.
That was hilarious.
That's brilliant.
That was good. And the second was last game of the season, Mike. Do you remember at Man City when Kevin De Bruyne was taking the corner and the fans were singing "You just a shit Mark Noble" at him?
Yeah. He had a little smirk, didn't he, as well? But,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Brilliant.
Another moment when the poor guy, I can't remember if he was a photographer, so went to kick the ball, and that was down our end when he come to kick the ball back, and he just collapsed on the pitch, and everyone was giving him a stick, and the poor bloke ended up having broken his ankle or something. Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. I tell you what, just before we go to Budgie, just to mention that Harry the Hornet thing, it's all coming back to me now. He was like stood to the side of the Ilbay end, and it was like Cockney boys were on a bender, Harry the Hornet's a sex offender and all that. And then all of a sudden he just kind of drifted away, and then 5 minutes later you saw him appear directly at the other end of the ground by the Watford end. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. Budgie, your favourite moment for an obscure reason?
My favourite moment was walking into the stadium for the first time at the Crystal Palace game, actually, because it's the first time I've seen the stadium. So that would be one of my favourite moments, experiencing the stadium for the first time. I suppose, it's got to be the Lyon home game, I suppose. I mean, it just the whole night the whole day was just full of fun and emotion, and I suppose just being around 60,000 like-minded people.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And just another reason on a personal level as well was that Lyon, I think it was Lyon at home game where we trundled on down to Rotterdam cruise terminal to watch the game on the phone whilst we were on holiday. I tell you what, the security guard must have thought we were like right weirdos. We were sat there. Bowen scored and I went ballistic, and it was this massive room, and it was so echoey, and all of a sudden he scored, and there was a couple of Leeds fans sat behind us, and they were like kind of it was brilliant.
Actually, one other moment that really means a lot to me was the Leeds game in January. They were both in January, on the 16th of January, which was the day before my 60th birthday. So I spent the weekend with Hammerette and Cam and went to Duke's pub, and that. It was just brilliant weekend, just complete manic weekend. But going to the stadium and meeting up with a lot of people, and that, it just made the weekend great for me. So.
Oh, brilliant. Any other memories coming back to you before we move on?
So many.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, a good moment was I didn't go to the Leeds away game, but when Antonio scored in the last minute. Yeah. I'll tell you what. That's the one time I've ever been on a watch along, and I was on the network, and they were like 10 seconds ahead of me, and they went go on, and I muted. Antonio was going go on, and I muted him on there because of course people watching must have thought Jake's like looking at it and like not doing anything, even though he can hear Anton cheering, and I didn't. And all of a sudden, I went ballistic. Oh my days! That game. And Peter does a last-minute goal at Ellen Road. Maybe we can replicate that next season. Another one, Norwich away. We've got your ball. Oh yeah.
And then them fans, when they had a shot, we've had a shot. I'd say what some of the best fans this year, because they just couldn't give it anything at all. They knew they're rubbish. Everybody knew they're rubbish.
Really
Just absolutely brilliant. When is Semra coming on again? Shh. Go on, Budgie.
Another great moment was when Pablo Fornells walked up to the media platform and sang West Ham Massive.
Everywhere we go, 1, 2, 3, 4. West Ham are massive. Everywhere we go, everywhere we go.
Done your own work there, Jakey. And when he took the baby into the stadium as well, when he was
singing "Come on, you Irons."
Come on, you Irons. I mean, that's quality stuff, isn't it? You've got to love that.
Brilliant.
Put a smile on your face.
And this one as well, Soufal on the Eintracht Frankfurt Ultra pitch invasion. He couldn't give anything, could he? He couldn't give 2 flips, could he?
Yeah, absolutely.
They were all chucking flares and fireworks and bombs, and he stood there in front of the away end clapping the fans.
Yeah.
And then when he came up after, I said if they would have come up to me, that it would have been their problem, not mine. Oh, brilliant
Yeah.
stuff. Now here we go. Right, Arsenal for life.
Hopefully you get
See
up
you in
3
the
games in a row.
yeah. See you in the Europa League next season. No, wait, you're in the Conference League. You'll be down in the Conference League once you finish third in the group stage. Anyway, yeah.
Have you
What a
seen
spur!
Have you seen some of the teams that qualified for the Conference League?
Yeah, some good sides.
Good
I'll
size.
tell you what though. One place I do want to go. I think Derry's in it. An away day to Ireland is on the cards.
Yeah, that'd be great.
An away day to Ireland is on the cards. Yeah, weren't Arsenal supposed to be in Champions League because they finished 5th in a 4-horse race? How Spursy is that? Put the nail on the head. Yeah, four now singing. Oh yeah, we met Jan Molby at Anfield as well before the game.
I met the Cole brothers.
Yeah, you did before one of the Europe games. Yeah,
Gary with the Cole brothers.
brilliant.
I was lucky to be on a stream with Jimmy Quinn and young Jake here, so thank you for that, Jake.
Brilliant. Yeah, what a stream that was. And we've had, of course, I think it was just before the season started, we had Frank McAvenny on the channel here as well, which was a great moment for me and the channel as well on this level as well. And yeah. Right, anything else before we go on to the final question of this season review? Anything else you feel like we need to discuss that I've completely forgot about? Oh, that's good.
I just think it's a very enjoyable season, Jake. I honestly do. I think we've had a few down points, but by and large, this has been great. 2 seasons running, I can walk around my head held high, wearing my shirt without people laughing at me, which is nice.
And a smile on your face.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Brilliant. I think as well we haven't discussed Noble send off. We have slightly about how fitting was that? Budgie, you were there. How fitting was that?
It was full of emotion. It was the whole stadium was completely buzzing would be the wrong word to use, but it was like it was just full of charged emotion throughout the whole stadium. And when he walked around doing his, saying goodbyes around the whole stadium and that, you could hear the noise levels rising as he was going around the stadium and stuff. And, he took his time at every point around the ground, waving to people, pointing out people that he knew. And, it was just fantastic. And, even the Ben Shepherd, introduction and stuff, it was emotional. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And the 2-2 draw ain't too shabby against City either, is it?
Well, exactly. Not many teams in the last decade can say they were 2-0 up at home to City half time. Peter says, Jake, do you want the DJ job at West Ham when you're older? I couldn't possibly knock Russ off his lovely pedestal, could I? I couldn't possibly.
Question from Sean. 21 years, isn't he?
Yeah, I couldn't do that. Sean says, how long do the guests think Moyes will be in the job, be it his choice or not? Thinking long-term plans. Longer than Conte. If you get knocked out Champions League in group stage, he's gone by January. He's like, I've had enough of this. He's off. But let's just have a number, Mike.
I think he's here for another 4 or 5 years if he keeps going like he is.
Yeah.
Honestly,
3 to 5, I'd say too.
You don't turn in a team that was fighting relegation into a team that's going to fight for Champions League overnight, do you? And he's there for the long haul.
Yeah,
he's got in Europe 2 years in a row. So as long as he keeps us in that top half of the league, he's there for another 4 or 5 years at least.
Gary, how many years?
Well, he did 11 years at Everton, so why not do 11 years at West Ham? And then why not?
Hello. Budgie?
Yeah, I'd say 3 to 5 years comfortably.
Yeah. See, then you've got an opposing opinion here as well. Peter says Moyes won't be here in 2 years' time. Why, Peter? Why would you say that? Jones says Moyes will be here for the next 4 years as well. And one thing we haven't discussed is the importance of the backroom staff this year as well. And of course, shedding light on that when Stuart Pearce this week has announced his resignation How big have the backroom staff been this year, and how big of a loss will that be heading into next season, Gary?
Well, I think Jones said no class act to wait until after the season's finished. It'll be interesting to see whether Mark Noble takes up that role in his place in due time. I don't know, but no,
In a couple of years, I think. But
yeah, no, I think I'll tell you one people that don't get recognised is the physios. I mean, we've had remarkably few injuries, and those we've had, like Zuma was supposed to be out for the season, but he came back, and Dawson was out for a while and came back, and Bowen's been out for a while and came back. Antonio, who touched on earlier, has been fit all season, so I think the physio have done a really good job. Physio department have done a really good job, because years ago,
physios and dietitians and people like that, definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
people that don't get credit.
Yeah,
absolutely,
definitely.
Yeah.
The importance of the backroom staff, Budgie?
Huge, absolutely huge. I mean, it's as Gary touched on there, I mean, like the physios have been doing such a good job getting players back before before we're expecting them back, at least. They're clearly ready because he's been playing them and they've been continuing to play afterwards. So they're obviously ready to come back. So brilliant. I've got full admiration for them. It's a shame that Stuart Pearce has decided to go. I don't know why. One would only assume that it's another job offer somewhere, maybe,
or personal reasons at 60 years old.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I suppose. Yeah, that is a really good point, because I'm that age myself and I want to retire. So no, I seriously do. I want to retire. So
and to be fair, that's his life. Because as it is for the players and it is for the whole backroom staff, West Ham is their life when they're in that job.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a 24-hour day life as well,
Yeah. Mike, anything else to add?
Yeah, no, I think Stuart Pearce has done a brilliant job, and they've all done a brilliant job. But Alan Irvine also did a good job, and he left. And I think Pearce is sort of leaving for the same sort of reasons. He just wants a quieter life. He's been in football all these years. Wouldn't be surprised to see him pop up somewhere else, but he does a lot of commentary on the radio and things like that. He's not going to be hard up for a bob or two. I mean, at the end of the day, he's done a really good job, but I'm sure we'll get someone else in there. Hopefully another sort of West Ham related player. I mean, there's talk about people like Joe Cole and obviously Noble's name's going to come up, Michael Carrick. So hey, I'm sure Moyes, he's surrounded himself with good people, really good people. Kevin Nolan's been brilliant. I mean, like you were saying earlier, it's the ones that you don't hear anything about. The ones that are the physios and the dietitians and all those sort of guys that have kept that squad together, a thin squad, and got them back. And I think Gary said we got back 2 or 3 players a lot quicker from injuries than we ever thought we were going to.
Yeah.
There's been some good work done behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
100%. 100%. So the final question I'm going to ask is, sum up this season in just 3 words. But to give you some time to think of those 3 words, we'd like to thank our channel sponsors here on West Ham Unofficial, SIM Carver & Son, for not only their support here tonight and today, but throughout the whole of this season. It's greatly appreciated. Check out the video now and check them out in the link in the description down below. Please check out our channel sponsors here on West Ham Unofficial, SRM Carver & Son. SRM Carver & Son provide crushing, screening and aggregate recycling services across southern England. You can check out SRM Carver & Son and more information by clicking the link in the description down below. Once again, a fantastic and a huge thank you to SRM Carver & Son for sponsoring West Ham Unofficial, and come on you Irons. So once again, a massive thank you to SRM for their support this season. Mike, sum up this season in 3 words.
We are massive.
Budgie.
Europa League semi.
Gary.
Proud, enjoyable, and close.
Fair enough. That's 9 words that I think do sum up our season in 9 words make a million memories. Let's have a look at some of yours.
That's Jake.
I was hoping nobody would say that. I don't know. I don't know. Right, let me take these comments and think about it. Could do better. Oh, Peter, come on. Come on, Peter.
Come on,
I
Pete.
know. I know.
And there
Moyes.
is the voice of reason. Yeah. Go on.
Moyes, Rice, Bowen. Brilliant away days. Very good. Big Ballon Dawson. Because Micah said we are massive, because that's what I would have said.
Yeah, you were going to say that. Jack just said Bowen for England.
Oh, yeah, my Sam's gone all out the wall. Can somebody say something a minute?
Hello?
There we go. That's right. I'm back. I should move the microphone. There we go. We are massive. Mike stole it. Mike stole the big catchphrase. We are massive. Glass half full, not half empty. I like it, Frammer. I like it. But there we go. 59 minutes to discuss a momentous season for West Ham. This has been the West Ham 2021-22 season review. As we said earlier on, from Sevilla to Lyon to Zagreb to Stratford to Leeds to, I don't know, everywhere else we've been. To where?
Kidderminster.
Kidderminster, that's what I should have said. From Sevilla to Kidderminster, from Lyon to Stratford. What a season it has been. Thank you very much for your support here on West Ham Unofficial this season. And we now move in to talk about transfers. We're at 3 months. Woo! But in just 3 days, on Saturday night, I'm going to be back with my Real Madrid shirt on. I don't have one, but I'm going to have to get one with my Real Madrid shirt on. As we do a watch along for Liverpool versus Real Madrid, the Champions League final. Up the boys in white. Come on, the Real Madrid. We can't let them not get the triple or the treble. Not the triple, the treble. But so, yeah, join us here on West Ham Official for that. About 10 minutes before kick off the Champions League final on Saturday night. Transfers and all that stuff, interviews, they'll be coming. You know what to do. Well, obviously, a huge thank you not only for tonight, but for coming on throughout the whole of this season. Gary, Mike, and Budgie.
You're welcome.
Pleasure.
You, Jake. Been a pleasure.
For one last time talking about this season, come on, you Irons. And we'll catch you later on. Cheers, guys. And don't forget, Mike, what are we?
Massive.